think the time has come. Okay? The time has come for me to do this video. This ever so waited upon video. Alright, it only makes sense for my channel for me to do this. Alright, so let's get it done. We're ranking all of the Doki Doki Literature Club characters. Alright, from Sayori to Natsuki to Monica to Yuri, and even the protagonist, the person you play as. You're just a player. And I think of all people, I have the right to make this video. No one else in this world has truly shown this game the love it deserves besides me. I mean, I love Doki Doki Literature Club. So much. So much. But, first off, obviously we have the tiers S, A, B, C, D. We will be using all of these, alright? And first up on the list, we have of course, our main character. Obviously, we don't get to see the protagonist, and this isn't anything I've done. I just went online to, I forgot the name of the website, but this art's done by Childish N. That I'm not claiming this to be mine, but this is just a rough, concept of what the protagonist looks like, which I can accept. But the protagonist, all right, and now we're not talking any form of mod. There is no mods. There is nothing. There is just the normal vanilla game. All right, the protagonist is a blank slate of a character. All he gets to do is sit and watch. Okay, there is nothing else that happens within the game. All right, all you get to do when you play through the game is make choices. But those choices in the long run don't lead to any different outcome. All right. You as a character are a little more dense. You don't really understand, all your social situations. You don't understand social cues as well as, someone who's, outgoing. You're more of an introverted person, which is okay. But the way this character acts is he isn't really that, I wouldn't say careful. He isn't that caring. That's a hard word to find. It's not that he's not caring, but he doesn't understand the situations that everyone else goes through. He's not what's the word? What's the word? He's not sympathetic. He doesn't understand I think that works. He's not sympathetic. He doesn't understand how to put himself into the shoes of another person and give the correct responses and the correct attention to certain things, which, leads to, later on death and deletion and all that. He kind of just is there to exist. He's just a blank slate. So does that really make him a bad character? Does it? I don't know. Does it? Let's think about it like this. Let's say you're in a TV show and there's a character that acts just as he does. He's blank slate. He doesn't understand social cues. He's an introvert. He's non-sympathetic. You probably have a very neutral opinion on him, unless his decisions affected the main characters negatively or positively. Kind of just depends on that. But if his decisions negatively affect, you like the character less. If it positively affects, it probably makes you like him a little bit more, but not really past anything that's a neutral. All right, so I think it's safe to say our protagonist here is going to be getting the C rank. All right, I think we can live with that. I think we can genuinely live with the C rank. All right, it just makes sense. He's just mediocre. He's not bad. He's not annoying. Per se, in some situations, he's not annoying, but I think this is a good placement for him. But of course, next up we have Yuri. Oh boy, Yuri, I've cried over a mod when she died. Oh man, that was something else. That was truly just heartbreaking. Not gonna lie, I was really broken from that. That really got me, but that didn't happen in the vanilla game. Obviously, we know this is the death of Yuri right here. She asks if you accept her love. You can answer yes or no. Doesn't really matter. She does this in the end. There's no changing it. She dies. She stabs herself. She dies. Then when she sinks down to the floor, she's just sort of... this isn't my gameplay, by the way. This isn't mine. I'm just using somebody else's because I couldn't find mine. But yeah, she just sinks to the floor and just has all this text where you just have to skip through. That's it. by the way, name of the channel I got the thing from is Love You on YouTube. Yeah, I guess go check them out. I just use them for this. I think it'd be wrong if I didn't say anything about them. But yeah, Yuri is a more shy, even more of an introverted character than the protagonist, but is just a very shy, soft spoken, keeps to herself type of person. She enjoys her books. She, is very awkward in almost all situations just because she doesn't understand, how to act in social situations. And of course, for worser things, her obsession levels, are something to pay attention to because when you play through the game for the second time, not the first, but the second time, Monica raises her obsession levels with the character, which because she already was pretty obsessed with obsessive over the things she likes, her books, her hobbies of with her that. But she's just very obsessive by the end of the game, and her obsession leads to her killing herself for reasons I don't necessarily remember. I don't really remember. I haven't genuinely played through the game in a while. But yeah, I mean, besides the negatives of that, she's a very nice and kind person. She tries her best to get along with all the club members, especially with her difference in personality with Natsuki. It's just so different where it's just hard for her to be put into situations with her, which makes sense. Sometimes you just don't get along with others, which happen. But she just tries her best to get along with everyone. She doesn't try to be rude, and if she is rude, she's very apologetic about things. She apologizes for things that she doesn't really need to apologize for. Like sometimes she'll just speak her mind, which everyone does, but she feels like she's being rude, or she'll think that she's annoying, or she's just talking too much, ramblings, just going on about random things that she just feels sorry for, which is it's a very common thing with people in real life, so it's not like it's unheard of. So it's a nice part of her. She tries to care. She tries to show that she cares and wants to be considerate of other people's thoughts. However, her as a character in this game, where would I rank her? I don't think she's my least favorite character. I like her better than the protagonist character, so she at least gets up here somewhere. But she's not my favorite character, so S tier does not apply. So where do I rank her between A and B? I can't rank her on the same level. I can't say she'd be my second favorite. I think she gets third place. I think Yuri, in my opinion, is the third best character in the game. Maybe not for the sake of who would I like to date, because that's weird. They're not real. I'm not into that. Not into 2D characters like that. Sure, I love the game. I'm not sexually attracted to 2D characters. I think. No, no. But I think it's safe for me to put Yuri in the B rank. I think that's safe. I like Yuri more than the protagonist. Not as much as two other characters I have in mind. But I think that's a safe rank. But alas, we have the next girl, Monica, the antagonist of the game. I like Monica a lot as a character. I think she truly shows the most interesting traits. Sure, obviously. Let's think about it like this. Let's say you're put into a game where you have the concept of reality stuck in your head forever. You're in a game, but you can't do anything to get out of it. No one else knows about it either. You're the only person who knows. Even if you try to explain to it, probably wouldn't believe you. You sound insane, so you just live life as though it's normal and you just deal with it. That's Monica right there. All right. So can I blame her for being upset that the protagonist stupid? It doesn't choose. It doesn't have the capabilities of choosing the actual routes that they want. No, I guess I can't blame her. Does that make up for her, killing off the other characters and deleting them? No, that doesn't make up for it either. So, she's insane. She's a yandere. She is a yandere. I'll tell you that much. A yandere. Doesn't mean she's bad. Let me also point that out. Doesn't mean she's bad. But I think the greatest thing about this is that the release of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. In that perspective, you get to play through a game where she doesn't have that all-knowing, omniscient, capabilities of knowing she's in a game. There's a whole dedicated stories for her not knowing anything about that. She doesn't know she's in a game. She just is normal. She's just normal. And that is really something different, and you get to see how much she truly does care for the club, how much she cares for the other people. She is a very caring and wonderful character. Very, very much so. Monica's great. Not this edition, this one. This one is one of the after stories that you get in DDLC Plus. Sayori confides into her, tells her about her depression. You know what Monica does? She's there. She's compassionate. She listens. She tries her best to help. And here, she's compassionate. She's, just spending time with Natsuki. She's new to the club, trying to introduce her, because she knows she doesn't get along well and their ideas don't necessarily go with each other. Monica doesn't believe that manga's literature to begin with. And, obviously because she's so used to that mindset, creates tension between the two, but she moves on from it and learns to accept it, and well, kind of she learns to kind of accept it and get along with Natsuki. Look, the point being is Monica isn't a bad character in my opinion. Her actions are not fully justifiable, but that doesn't make her a bad character. It's kind of what I think about with Thanos. All right, Thanos, bad guy, yes, very bad guy. His morals, questionable, very questionable. Think about what he was doing. He was trying to get rid of half the universe in order to make it last longer. All right, tried to get half the population disappeared. I get that. All right, fully makes sense because resources are finite. You can't make more resources. Once the universe runs out of resources, there's no more. You can't make it anymore. There's nothing you can do about that. So his actions weren't bad per se, but the way he went about it was bad. Same thing with Monica. Actions, she wanted to, date character. Okay, I guess, that's comparing two very different situations. She wanted to date the character would fall in love with her. She killed out. Okay, you know what? Look, I like Monica a lot. Which is why it's very hard for me to choose if she gets S or A tier. All right? I don't know. I like Monica a lot. A lot. Very much. She's just a very enjoyable character. But is she my favorite or is she second place? I don't know. That's genuinely very hard. I think I finally found it. I think my favorite character in DDLC is Monica. I think. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see if that changes once I get further into the video. But for now, we're going to leave her as my favorite. But, moving on, we are on to Natsuki, which I can tell you right now is D. I don't like Natsuki. Not really, almost at all, in the normal game. Alright, look, you go her route. Sure, I like her there because, she's a tsundere. Tsunderes, you have to get past that part of, like, their, them being rude to the character, even though on the inside, they like the character. Right? Once you get past that, Natsuki's a very likable character. Very likable. But it's just, you have to get past the Soon part to get to the dairy part. I love dairy. I love me some cheese. But I don't want me some of that Soon part. I just don't want to deal with the blatantly lying to the character, saying, oh, it's not like I care about you or anything like that. I don't want to deal with that. I really don't. And I get it, all these characters are, represent some form of dairy, like dating. character, Natsuki is tsundere, Monica, and Yuri. I guess I'll give them both yandere. I forgot what Sayori is, but it just doesn't matter. Look, I was looking for an image and I found this and it was pretty funny. Natsuki, this is when she gets deleted. And I haven't seen Dexter's Laboratory, but I just thought this was funny. Anyway, Natsuki here. Natsuki is a small, I believe, don't know what grade she's in. Possibly freshman. I don't remember. But she's small, she's feisty, that's her personality. She's the tsundere part of her. Makes sense. They're typically shorter and they're more feisty. They're willing to put up a fight for, the things they like, which I personally am okay with. That is perfectly fine. However, she tends to be very, not arrogant, what's the word? Stubborn. She's very stubborn on her ideas, her ideals, and her way of thinking about things, If it's not her way, she tends to get into a fight and then gets upset with other characters, which, that's a little annoying. It's kind of childish behavior. That's the best way I can put it, and that really makes it weird for other purposes. But that's not what I'm getting into. Those are just some of her negatives, but I think her positives really do shine. Obviously, once you get past the tsundere part of her, and she actually is enjoying her time with you. When you bake with her, it's very fun. You get to see a side of her that is just hidden until that point. You get to see that she's capable of having fun with the protagonist. She wants to have fun, but it's just her way of life, her personality is just hard to work with to get to that point, which is okay, I suppose. I think if she wasn't a tsundere and she only had the personality of like the baking and all that, I think she would be my favorite character. I think that wholeheartedly. Playing Doki Doki Exit Music was a great example. That for a long time after playing that, favorite character. I would not change my mind if that was how she was the whole time. Favorite character, hands down, no debate, game over. But it's a mod. In the normal game, she gets last place. I just don't like her that much in the normal game. She just creates issues. That's all she does. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I failed you. But yeah, that is why she gets D tier. And on to the last character, Sayori, which you are just perfectly left with the A tier. Alright, Sayori, our childhood friend, someone with whom we have grown up with, had those years of separation, which is, happened. It happens. I perfectly get it. I've already explained this in another Doki Doki video about this. I get it. I get separation. It happens. And comes back into our life. Should say everything's normal. Everything's the same. She is such a sweet, fun, airheaded person. Her personality is very easy to get along with. Anyone could get along with her. She's very just enjoyable to be around, alright? When she tries to be, at least. Which obviously, she suffers from depression. Very, very huge part of her personality. She fakes her happiness. She fakes it to, try and show others, that they don't need to worry about her. She doesn't want them to worry about her. Just her biggest downfall is her depression. Not that depression's bad. Yeah, depression, that is perfectly fine as long as you're doing your best to try and find your way out of it. I worded that wrong. Don't take anything I say. All right, I didn't plan any of this script. None of this is scripted. This is all just coming out as as soon as I think it, I say it. And that's how it's coming out. So don't take any advice from me. However, that is a big part of her character, and it does make it a little hard to get around, to liking her, because you don't know how she truly feels. You don't know if she's faking it, her happiness being around characters, being around everyone else, or she may not truly enjoy it, but she's already too in deep to, get herself out of that. You don't know. I got very distracted coming to this point. I was looking at more mods and I was like, oh man, there's more mod stuff I want to play. Oh no. Anyway, this scene right here. All right, my face is very red because I was very flustered. Anyway, The scene right here is one of the my if it is my favorite scene. This is right after, you get the choice of saying you'll always be my best friend, or you can say I love you. This is what happens when you say I love you. You guys hug, you embrace, and you guys plan on taking it slow from there. And then, you know, from there you invite her over because that's kind of just what you wanted to do. You wanted to invite her over, but you can't do that because she doesn't want to. But next day is when you go to the club room, you get the poem that Monica messed with and all her, and then you go back and you find that Sayori's dead. Dead, yes, she hung herself. Blah blah blah. If you don't know that, then you should have watched Doki Doki by now. I have videos. I've also replayed through the game on Doki Doki Plus. I prefer you watch. Neither of the playthroughs are good because both of them are on a bad computer. The point is, go watch the game if you haven't by this point. Yeah, just do it. All right, but yeah, Sayori's route is just it's it's very like it's very heartbreaking once you get to the end of it. It's just, you feel like, if it's your first time playing, you feel like you're about to get like this happy ending, you're about to see something happen. You get to the ending, you may have a girlfriend, and all of it's just stripped away from you right there. It hurts. It really does. When I first played it, when I first saw it, I was pretty hurt. And playing mods where I see the same thing happen over and over again, it hurts even more. Like this is one of the modded playthroughs. This is Exit Love and Literature, which I did finish, technically finish. They never finished the mod. There's a fan fiction. I'm not getting into that. I play the game, nothing more than that. But right here, you get to see Sayori. This is you come in right as soon as she starts to hang herself. You can see that she's trying to get out of it. Because even in the normal game, if I'm correct, there are prints on her fingers of her trying, like her bloody fingers. She's trying to get out of it. She instantly regrets it, and it just hurts once like you get more and more into this. It just hurts a lot. Anyway, Sayori is just a very lovable, sweet character. Her depression is what makes it hard to want to like her so much because something bad will happen. But if that weren't the case, I feel like I could probably switch these two. But that the same would be the case here. If Monica wasn't, insane, Monica's my favorite character. She just, is a very sweet, popular, very much liked character. I mean, I guess all of these, I'm going to do something. I'm switching Natsuki and the protagonist. I don't like the protagonist as much as I like Natsuki. I don't like the protagonist at all. Just stupid, the least favorite character. This is my ranking, though, okay? In the end, we leave it off with Monica being the best, followed by Sayori, then Yuri, then Natsuki, then the protagonist. But yeah, I'm done for today. No more. I've spent 23 minutes now recording this. More than that, there's a lot more. But I spent a lot of time recording this when I really didn't need to. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, why don't you go ahead and smash that like button and also hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And hit that little bell so you know the next time I upload a video. But yeah, I'm out. Peace!